We are living through a time characterized by acute irrational panic from otherwise healthy and normal individuals. Why is that? Well, researchers from the University of Aarhus, Denmark, have investigated the dynamics of a condition known as pre-traumatic stress disorder, a disorder caused by the constant anticipation of highly stressful scenarios and images, as juxtaposed with the well-known post-traumatic stress disorder. Now, very broadly speaking, we can distinguish two types of thinking used by human beings, System 1 and System 2 type thinking. System 1 being the instantaneous, reactive, and reflexive type. It's what we rely on when the men 3 stories up start shouting, "Look out below," and moments later the power saw lands in the grass beside us after we've run away covering our heads. System 2 type thinking, this is long-term, strategic, and contemplative. It's what we rely on when we want to figure out how to pay off our mortgage within a decade. Each of these responses are initiated and generated by the hippocampus in the brain. The hippocampus is also responsible for autobiographical memory indexing, encoding memory into the brain, similar to the way your computer writes memory onto the hard drive. And a healthy, normal hippocampus is constantly growing in a process called subcortical hippocampal neurogenesis. Michael Nels points out, with significant evidence, that the cause of pre-traumatic stress disorder is likely the decline of subcortical hippocampal neurogenesis. When we are overexposed to an unhealthy amount of System 1 type thinking, subcortical hippocampal neurogenesis declines. This in turn rewires the brain so that System 2 type thinking becomes abbreviated and begins to rely on System 1 type thinking as a go-to or shortcut. System 2 type thinking begins to animate and rely on System 1 type thinking, and this results in a major disruption of the autobiographical memory indexing. What is the source of this phenomenon of anxiety? Climate panic, the fixation on human sexuality and identity, unadulterated vitriol toward political figures, hatred of one's own country, and the good guys, bad guys approach to understanding war. Interestingly, the disruption of subcortical hippocampal neurogenesis and the indexing of autobiographical memory is also the primary lever in the pernicious process of ideological subversion. Or to quote Chairman Mao, "See now, wash brain." Can it be disputed that this is not the result of deliberate, nonstop barrage of the overstimulation of System 1 type thinking through social media addiction, producing excessive anxiety through this rewiring of the brain? Perhaps a better term for woke might be media-induced System 1 type thinking obsessive disorder. But don't take my word for it. Links to sources in the description.